My name is Eddie Abraham. I'm the program manager for Albany Can Code. I'm here tonight to tell you a little bit about my company. I'm going to tell you sort of where we came from. I'm going to tell you what we do. I'm going to tell you where we're going. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can be a part of that. So our origin story really starts with our founder, Anne-Marie Lannacy. She, a couple years ago, 2016, she hired two people at the same time. One was a coder from a traditional sort of pipeline, 4-year degree at a comp sci program. And the other was a restaurant worker who had self-taught and wanted to sort of get into an entry-level coding position. And fast forward like a couple of months, the restaurant worker they were both doing well. But the restaurant worker was just excelling, and he had actually surpassed the person who had a 4-year comp sci degree in terms of competency and quality of work. So Anne-Marie was sitting in her office overlooking downtown Troy, and she was thinking about this, and she had what I consider to be the founding epiphany for our organization, and that is that there's a pool of latent coding talent like all around us. So now whenever Anne-Marie goes walking along the street, like she can't walk along a sidewalk without wondering like, oh my God, is that person a potential coder? Is that person a potential coder? And we know that we're hungry for this talent. And what we're seeing is that there are non-traditional opportunities out there for finding that talent, for bringing them into the process, and for showing them pathways to tech careers. And when we say there's talent everywhere, we really mean we think that there's talent everywhere. And we're going to come back to this a little bit later. So this insight, this founding epiphany, developed into what became our mission. And our mission is really to build a pipeline out of non-traditional sources of talent. And by doing that, we're going to create a pool of talent that our tech sector can draw on. And we're going to fuel the development and the progress of that tech sector by giving it the people that it needs in order to succeed. So let's talk a little bit about what we actually do. We've got this pipeline, just really briefly, extends all the way from like kindergarten up to mid-career. And tonight I'm going to not talk to you about the K-12 stuff. It's an important part of the work we do, but I think the relevant bit for you guys is our workforce program and then also our employer network. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. The workforce program, we're teaching coding skills, like the hard skills that you need in order to be a coder. So we got a lot of front-end classes, back-end classes. We're talking to people about databases, how to create databases and work with database and data science. And we're also interested in teaching people UI skills, like how to design UI experiences. There's a whole soft skill thing which we hear about so much. We're going to get to the employer network in just a minute. But when we talk to people who are in our employer network, they tell us that one of the biggest things that they're missing is the soft skill piece. So we teach communication, teamwork, all of the pieces that you need in order to interact with a business and build a product for them that is actually going to work and fulfill a business need. And then lastly, we teach job skills, and that's stuff like how to write a resume, how to do an interview, even stuff like project management. We actually give our students experience doing project management. So we're taking adult learners and we're putting them through this workforce program, and at the end of the day, we're hoping to get them placements. That's the employer network side. So we have a huge employer network of about 100 employers. It's growing all the time, so I don't have the exact number, but it's more than 100. And among those, we have about 20 who are actually coming into the class and doing mentorships for our students. So they're teaching the students, they're telling the students about what it's like to work in the tech sector. They're passing on all of that accumulated knowledge that they have, like what it's like to run a startup, what the culture is like, what kind of soft skills you need in order to be successful. And we're also talking to them about what kinds of technologies they need. So we always want to know from our employers, you know, what's on the way out, what's on the way in, and what are you looking to hire for? We take that feedback and we directly put that into our workforce program so that we're teaching relevant skills. And then lastly, placements. You know, these workforce students, we want them to get jobs in the IT sector. That's our goal. And of the 105, I think, students that have come through the program in the last 2 years, about half of them have gotten jobs in IT. And that's anything from an internship to a software apprenticeship to an entry-level position. So we want to talk about what we're doing next, and that is we're moving into Saratoga County. A lot of the programs that we've done so far have been in Schenectady, Albany, and Troy. We're working with Saratoga Prosperity Partnership to expand our reach into Saratoga to find all that non-traditional coding talent that's here in our county and train them up and teach them how to do the work and then find placements for them here in Saratoga County or elsewhere. So that's something that we're going to be looking to do in January. And we're probably going to start with the front-end course because that's the good entry level for a lot of people, but we're going to quickly move into back-end database. We have an automated web testing course that is really excellent, and we're going to look to do all of that stuff here in Saratoga County. So what am I asking for? Not much. If you know someone who has a passion for tech, for coding, and is interested in teaching, we would love to talk to them. We're always, always, always looking for new instructors. We're looking for venues. We need a place to gather, usually twice a week in the evenings, like 5:45 to 8:45-ish, and teach people how to code. It doesn't need to be like a fancy tech facility or anything like that. We don't even need computers. The students will all bring their own laptops. But we just need like a space for people to hang out and learn coding. It does need to have a projector. We're looking for recruits. Like we're expanding to Saratoga County. We're doubling the number of students that we teach every year. So that means next year we're going to need to teach 120 students to stay on course. So this recruiting piece is huge. If you know someone who's kind of like always thought about getting into coding or wants to just learn a little bit of coding to like up their resume or increase their sort of on-the-job knowledge, recruits are always welcome. We need mentors in class. Share your stories. Tell the next generation of coders what you know, what you learned, how you got where you're going. We really want to hear those stories. And we want you to help build up the sort of soft skills for our students. And then the last thing is join our employer network. When we're out there talking to employers, we're asking questions that directly inform what we do for our students. What kind of technologies do you need them to learn? What kind of soft skills do you need them to have? What are the really specific requirements that you have for new hires at your organization? Tell us that stuff, and we will literally build programs to develop talent for you. My name is Eddie Abraham. I work at Albany Can Code. You guys get in touch, and I'll be happy to talk to you.